ain't ESPN, but he got the lens from five-star freaks to them backwoods gems. True to Savage season. Let's be honest, nobody break it like Danny. Walking through combined smoke like a myth. Danny got notes on a kid with no clips. He said, yo, check that DB from Portland State. You're gonna laugh, but bro, he can straight up play. He know the verticals, hand size twitch, but more than the metrics, he reads that grit. No hype trains, no agency deals. He break down tape, no cap, just
boom. Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a like, hit the hyper button. Also hit the notification button so you know when I go live. It's a cold, snowy Saturday night. Not interested in really any NFL games on, honestly. There's one more bowl game I'm going to get into tonight. This is like a potpourri. It's like a little bit of everything. The main thing is going to be, we're going to be talking about some risers and guys that have fallen faster than old people on ice. See, I got a funny story there, man. So I heard there was one time when I was a kid, man, and it was a blizzard out, and you get all the slush and shit when it warms up and stuff. And I always hear a story about these two guys, these two kids. They were kids. You get the slush and everything. And you would see the people waiting out in the mornings for the bus stop and stuff like that. And I would always hear stories about these kids, like they would like just be driving fast and at the last minute drop the plow. And if you can imagine it in your mind, picture like 8, 9 people waiting for the bus in the morning and then getting hit with like a 10-foot wave from the ocean, but of snow and slush. Yeah, man, I used to hear stories like that all the time. Crazy shit. Funny. It was funny to me. But when you're a kid, stuff, honestly, I would still think it was funny today. I'm sorry. I have a funny sense of humor. So we'll be talking about risers and fallers. This year is one of the biggest years I've ever seen this because there are so many kids out there that they got hyped up crazy before the draft, but they actually believed their hype. And there's kids that legit went from top 5. I mean, top 5 overall picks in the draft. Day 3. Kids out of the first round. I mean, like, this is going to be a tricky year for NFL scouts and coaches because, I mean, are you going to go by 2025 tape or are you going to go by 2024 tape? You have to go by 2025 tape unless the kid is injured, but I still want to see some 2025 tape, There's a certain team out there that they only draft people with blown out knees. I can't handle that. Can't do it. All right. Now, I said this kid was he was falling from day one. And yet everyone had this kid in their top 5. The great Caden Proctor from Alabama. Nah, bro. In my world, he ain't no left tackle. I think he should be tried out as a right tackle. And I think he could be a better guard than tackle in the NFL. Kid's 6'7", 370. You put this kid at left tackle, bro, they're going to be put Myles Garrett in front of this kid. He's going to be chopping him. He's going to get destroyed. He's going to get just his footwork is horrendous. He's fallen big time. Everyone was blowing up Isaiah World from Oregon. 6'8", like 330. My marker has bigger legs and calves than him. Not a fan. Not a fan of him. Listen, you're going to hear two popular names with the draft crowd. Not in my world though, and it's going to be the Utah guys, Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu. Now they have decent size. They're like 6'5". They're listed at 300. They're 300 pounds with helmets and shoulder pads and both pockets full of quarters. These kids got to put on size or they are going to get, at the next level, they're going to get dumped into quarterbacks. They're going to get dumped right into their laps. But you have to realize there's 32 teams in the NFL. More than half of the NFL drafts horrendous. So it could also be comical, But I don't want no part of those two kids. None whatsoever. Let's see. We're going to talk about the fallers first. Then we're going to go with the risers. Let's see. I'm at, I think, 354 already. Let's see. Wide receiver. I think one of the biggest disappointments is Nick Highbar from South Carolina. Kid's like 6'5". Like he's like 6'5", 210, 220. And he could run in the Olympics. But he is Geoff. What's up? Caden McDonald, the nose tackle from Ohio State. Do you think he can develop as a pass rusher and be a 3-tech? Nah. In my world, he's a 1-tech. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's not. I think he's more of one. He's more of a 1-tech in my world. He has the size, he stays low, clogs the run, crazy strong. He's a strong kid, bro. Strong kid. And if he gets you a sack or two, that's just like the cherry on top of the sundae. But I think listen, like I said, you draft ones to just clog up the middle and let the linebackers and the safeties flow to the ball. If he gets you, if he gets upfield for a sack, great. If you can get lateral, great. But you get him there to just destroy the middle so the linebackers can flow clean. It's like the defensive linemen make the linebackers look good. Any great linebackers have always had great defensive linemen in front of them. Ray Lewis, bro, he had Saragusa in front of him. He had Mount Cody. He had Haloti Ngata. You had the giant linebackers. You had Lawrence Taylor, Harry Carson, Carl Banks, Reasons. But, they had Leonard Marshall, Jim Bird. They had effing monsters. They had this other big dude, man, I can't think of his name. Giant, rocked out. I'm going back 40 years. More than 40 years. Giant, rocked out guy from Notre Dame. I can't think of his name, bro. He had a neck like this, bro. Like just jacked. So just how an offensive line makes running backs look good. It works the same. The defensive lineman, 1-techs do all the grunt work. The linebackers get all the hype. Yeah, that's why I love we got Alfred Collins for us. He's been great. Yeah, you killed us. I hate you, bro. We watching the draft list. Yeah, yo, I swear to you, I wanted yo, the first two picks, you killed us, man. With the edge from Georgia, Mikel Williams, I believe. Like I said, I have 1,000 names in my and I got 1,000 names in my head. So I think your first two picks was Mikel Williams, I believe, first pick, and then your second pick was Alfred Collins out of Texas, and he's having a good year. Third pick, I don't know if it was your third pick or your fourth pick. You went with a very short, yeah, Michael Williams. Yeah, he's been okay when he was healthy. Yeah, he has to get his ankles. He's been having ankle issues. That goes back to when he was at Georgia. Then there was, I believe, your third round pick was either your third round pick or your fourth round pick was which was an odd pick to me, a small linebacker who it was in. He was in my safety class, to be honest with you. But yeah, you killed us. You killed me at least in mine. Because that's. But you see, that's how when you go to rebuild a team. Nick Martin, yeah, he was. I had him. If he was your third round pick, I had him in on my safety class because it's weird because the 49 is usually like bigger linebackers, and Nick Martin was on the shorter side, but that's how you like when you're in a rebuild mode. I'm not saying the 49ers are in a rebuild mode, but a pick here, a pick here, a pick here, a pick here. No, bro, you got a carpet bomb one side, either the offense or the defense. You swing for the fences on one side and you just go boom, boom, boom. And I believe last year, the 49ers, you went defense with your first four picks in a row. And that's how you rebuild uh, a team. This year, I see the 49ers going offensive line. Trent Williams is still hanging in there. He's not what he was, but even 75% of Trent Williams is better than a lot of other guys, 100%. But I think the Niners are going to, I don't think they trust McCaffrey. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't, listen, man. I can't see how you call it racist because I'm white. You couldn't pay me to draft a white running back. I'm sorry, you couldn't. In the last 35 years, you had McCaffrey, who really was a wide receiver in college and was a hybrid running back, and he broke down. And then everyone's Cam Scatterboom, who I said he was like in my late 20s, Cam Scatterboom. Me personally, I wouldn't touch him. Everyone thought like he was the greatest thing in the world. He had like three good games and then turned his leg into coleslaw. Bro, he broke two bones in his leg and ligament damage. That's a 2-year injury. So the Giants are going to go running back. But San Fran, this year, I see you guys probably throwing picks at the O line and running backs. Yeah, I'm sorry. Uh, me personally, it is what it is. I do not draft white running backs. Then people will say, "Oh, what about Allstott? Allstott was a fullback, bro. Cut the shit, man. Fullback, he was, man. And also corners, bro. There hasn't been. Listen, uh, there hasn't been a white corner. Jesus, 30 years. Jason Sehorn, he played for the Giants. And the funniest thing about it is, I hate the Giants with a passion, but he was good. Jason Sehorn was really good. So I think it might have been Fossil at the time. I don't know. He had a right decision of let him catch punts in a preseason game. It was like the first preseason game, and they got this kid. Yo, he was like a top 5 corner in the league. No joke. Top 10. I'll give him top 10 at the time. Yo, he goes to catch a punt, shreds his knee, and he was like out of the league in like a year, 2 years. It's done. So last year, no, 2 years ago, can't think of his name. The kid from Iowa, man. Like I said, man, that's 2 drafts ago. It was a million miles away from me. That the Eagles took in round 2. I had him as an athlete. He played wide receiver at Iowa. He played some safety at Iowa. He played corner at Iowa, and he also was battling some injuries at Iowa. So to me, I had him in my athlete section. I forgot his name. The Eagles took him, man. I can't. It'll come to me an hour from now. It sucks getting old. And I had him like I just said, yo, that's the type of kid you get him, and you're like, figure it out. You figure it out later what you're gonna do with him. Yeah, of course. Amari Washington, a DT from Oregon. Niners are looking at him. Apparently, he will. He'll be there. He'll be there in the first round. It is a very very loaded. I'm telling you. Before this is over, between edges, defensive tackles, I'm going to be probably close to 80 to 100. It is a loaded edge class, a loaded defensive tackle class. Horrendous left tackle. Horrendous left tackle. Good right tackle class on offense. The strength of this class, in my opinion, it's right tackles, D line, safeties, linebackers. Those are my strengths. I think the tight end class is horrendous. Wide receiver 2027 is going to be the wide receiver class. Is going to be great. Running back, I have one running back going in round 1, Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. Quarterback, this quarterback class is horrendous. But Amari Washington, he put it this way, man. He's gonna live in the backfield when Oregon plays Texas Tech. So if you want to play around, just Oregon is gonna destroy Texas Tech. I'm telling you, destroy. Oregon is going to beat Texas Tech by double digits. So if you want to play, throw some money on Oregon. They're going to destroy them. But Washington is a really, really strong kid, man. You get big kids out there. Yeah, it's a disappointing wide receiver class. Nick Highball, like I said, 6'5", 220 out of South Carolina. He has rocks for hands, yet he legit could win a gold medal and be on the Olympic team. Listen, bro, this is a perfect example of track speed and football speed are not the same. Yo, there's been Olympians that have made the transition into the NFL. There's also been Olympians that have tried. Anyone I've shown my age, look up Araldo Nehemiah. He was a wide receiver for the Jets. He was like a gold medalist in the Olympics, and he tried playing wide receiver until he realized, like, you get hit. It just doesn't work out. But Highbar, he has rocks for hands. I also don't think his quarterback, Lenora Sellers, is helping him much. In my opinion, he was an edge in high school, and he was a really good edge. They should have left him an edge or bulk him up and put him a tight end. But I just don't think he's a physical for that size. It's crazy. That's where you get that. There's a saying, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. The linebacker class is amazing. Yeah, I like it a lot. I do like it a lot. People who have dropped, yeah, high barbers. And if you saw any preseason draft, he was he was a top 5 pick. Let's see, Jaden Ott, but he's been injured. He was supposed to be, really up there. I think he rushed for 70 yards on the season. He's been on a shitload of teams, but he got injured. So I see him coming back. He'll get a red shirt year, and I think next year will be like his 7th year. Another kid, remember this name, Darius Taylor, running back. I did videos on that. I dropped him in the summer. Darius Taylor, running back, Minnesota. He had a really, really good 2024 season. This season got hurt, uh, missed more than 5 games, and but yo, he came back. He did good when he came back. He went off in the bowl game, but someone's gonna get crazy value with him day 3. I dropped him in the summer, and then I redid his list. I redid his video last night. So, like I said, I've started putting prospects out there in May, where you're going to see everybody starting now. You know, he's someone to look out for. Guys that have fallen. CJ Donaldson, I thought he would do better, but basically he was coming out of West Virginia last year, had much better stats, took a bag with Ohio State, and basically Ohio State basically just turned him into their goal line back. But he's coming back for next season. And yo, Ohio State's offense this year, I'm sorry, was just way, way, way too conservative. And it showed even against Indiana. And how ironically now that they got to play the U, Ryan Day is he's calling the plays again now. But Ohio State's offensive line is Bazora, garbage. Levon Morse had a year, but he's injured, so I don't want to be like I don't want to drop somebody for injuries. I really don't. I don't like doing that because it's not fair. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Here's one. Peter Woods. If there ever was a person who like read his pre-draft hype, Peter Woods, Clemson is one of them. Horrendous. Great 2024 tape. His 2025 tape. He's a day 3 pick, but he'll go late first round. Same thing. TJ Parker, bro. Everyone had these kids in their top 5. Everyone. This is what happens when you listen to your own. You know, when you read your accolades and you think, yeah, I'm a big man on campus, and then a lot of times these kids they try not to play hurt and you get hurt. One of the reasons I think Clemson had a horrendous season was there was a lot of individual play and not team play, if that makes any sense. Because a team that's coached as a team that's good will beat another team of all stars that are just out for playing for themselves. It's been proven. Let's see. I thought Bear Alexander was going to come out. I ain't going to say he had it down here, but he's battled the injury bug a lot. He's actually coming. Supposedly, he's coming back for another year. Wait, let's see. He was Bear Alexander. He's at Oregon, but he was at USC. I think UCLA. Who knows if he's going to stay at Oregon or not? But I ain't saying he dropped it all. I'm not going to say that. Droppers. People who have dropped. I'm not a fan of Agunglier, Matayo Agunglier, Oregon's edge. I'm just not a fan. He has decent size, 6'5", 270. Listen, Oregon is going to skull fuck Texas Tech. Excuse my language, but I'm just not. Anyone with the last name Agunglier, I just stay away from. His brother was a quarterback that played for like 5 different college teams, and horrendous. He was highly. They were talking about him big time. They blew up Ruben Bain, bro, big time, big time. He just he's listed at 6'3", 275. He's probably like 6'2", 250, short arms. I just me personally, I look at him more as a 3-4 outside linebacker than a traditional NFL 3 down, 4-3, if that makes any sense. A kid I had higher coming into the season was Trey White, edge out of San Diego State. He had a really, really good 2024. Fell off a little bit, was banged up, but he definitely is a sleeper, man. In 2024, he had 13 sacks, 54 tackles, 20 tackles for a loss. A little bit banged up, but team captain means nothing to me. I don't care if you're robbing fucking, excuse my language, I don't care if you're robbing 7-Elevens. I really don't. Jimmy Johnson used to say he'd play the devil if it would help them win. I don't want Boy Scouts, bro. I want somebody that can say, see, listen, let's be honest, bro. What is football? Jaw jaw, boom. Packers about to lose their third straight game. But are they in already or no? I think even if they lose, they're in, right? Because Detroit got eliminated. So it's and I don't think and Jordan Love didn't play. Listen, it's gonna come down to who has home field advantage. But I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna be fun for anyone going to Soldier Field, going to Chicago in January and playing. That's not gonna be fun, bro. And I know people that make fun of him because he paints his nails. I don't care if you bang goats, bro. As long as you win, everything's fine. That takes care of everything. He paints his nails. I don't care. Win. I'd rather have a dude paint his nails, come out and throw 5 touchdowns for 380 yards than a guy come out, wearing all like kind of tough clothing, you know, trying to portray something else, and he's just a straight coward. So I could really care what the guy does in his private life as long as you win. And let me tell you something. I'm a Cowboy fan. There was a million rumors about Troy Aikman back in the day. A million. He could have picked any woman in the world. He married like a secretary for the Dallas Cowboys. It was all hush hush. Did it make sense? Then I think he divorced her, got married again. He might have had a kid that we don't know about. You think I gave a fuck? I don't care. You got 3 rings, bro. I could care less, bro, what people do with their private life. As long as you, and let me tell you, Chicago's a tough town, bro. So he just better. But I liked Caleb Williams at USC. I did, bro. He extended so many plays, and he has an arm, man. People were just down on him for his off the field stuff, and it takes time, Just and listen, let's be honest, man. Like how many good players have gone to Chicago and they just go there and die, but they got some good offensive players around them. They got my guy Kyle Monangai in round 7, who can now. Kyle Monangai from Rutgers was my running back 10. The Bears took him round 7. Compare Kyle Monangai's numbers, who doesn't even start. Compare his numbers to the great Austin Gentry, who went, 5 overall in round 1? Yeah. Not in my world, man. Let's see. Running back. Let's see linebackers who have kind of went downhill. I ain't going to say there's a lot that, have went downhill, that dropped a lot. Listen, I know. Listen, everyone came out preseason. Caleb Downs was in everyone's top five, and he's since there's such a lack of quarterbacks, he's probably going to go top 10 overall because it's a crazy year. You'll probably see two quarterbacks in the top 10, but he had a better 2024 season. I'll give him that. But 2025, I watched every single game except Grambling, and you could barely tell he was on the field, man. He was definitely playing not to get hurt. I'm sorry, and he already opted out of the playoffs. He's like, "Peace out." He got his ring last year. I don't blame him, man. He goes out there, blows out his knee, But it is a very, very, very good safety class. Very good safety class. Oh, here's a guy that just. And the crazy part is, this guy had a horrendous year, and everyone's blowing him up. But in my opinion, he's going to come back. Okay, he was originally at Purdue in 2024, this kid, Max Clare. And I did a video on this kid. I'm like, yo, this kid is like, what the hell is he doing at Purdue? He's like, him and this other kid, Will Helt, The Undertaker, he went to Clemson. I'm like, Max Clare, he's like 6'4", 240, and he was the only one making plays for Purdue all year. So at Purdue in 2024, he had 51 catches for 700 yards and 4 touchdowns on a 1-11 team. Purdue took a bag. He went to Ohio State. Now, all right, follow me, man. He transferred to Ohio State. Ohio State had Connell Tate, Smith. Bro, they're two running backs. He should have went over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. The whole middle of the field was open for this kid. He has, I think, 2 touchdowns and 200 yards on the season. And I even did a video on one of Ohio State's backup tight ends who I liked a lot. And but in my opinion, Max Clare is going to come back for another year because he's day 3 with the year we had this year. Let's go inside, man. It's not a great. It's. Well, we're talking about guys that have fallen. Let's see. Inside. Matthew Bedford, Oregon. He's fallen to me. He's another guy that's been around for about 1,000 years. Guys that have fallen. A lot of guys, they are what they are. I don't think Elijah Pritchard could have fallen any more than he did. He was at Alabama, and he gave up like 31 pressures, and then he transferred to Nebraska, and so I'm just not a fan of him. Let's see. Fallers. Who were the fallers, man? I think I went. Let's see. Fallers. I'm getting to the back. Hold on. Let's see. Lenora Sellers. Bro, everyone had him in the top 10. Archie, I forgot. The biggest faller of them all, Archie Manning. He's coming back for another year. I think he sucks. Everyone had this kid high as a first-round pick, Drew Aller from Penn State. I think he sucks. He did get hurt The only reason he's going to get drafted is he's 6'5", 235, and he's white, and he has an arm, but his arm sucks. And you can tell by the way, like numerous wide receivers has transferred out of Penn State. He sucks. So he even's gonna fall more because of the injury. I'm not a fan of him, but NFL teams can't draft. Someone's gonna take this kid, man. Hi. Lenora Sellers is coming back for another year. I honestly don't. I could be proven wrong. I think you can leave him in college for another 4 years, and it's not going to help him out. You know? All right. So now let's talk about some risers. Who has really risen? I think Jennings Dunker, Iowa's right tackle, has risen a lot. Yet in May, I had him. Listen, right now he's either my RT1 or RT2. He made a lot of money this year. He nasty, bro, nasty. Francis Mulaga, but he was rated high, but he's going to be the other number one right tackle. It's a coin flip. I think Markel Bell, the U's left tackle, 6'9". He's like 350, man, with the longest arms in the world. He has increased his value, and the further the U goes in the playoffs, the more he's gonna fly up the boards. This kid is 6'9", 340. He has, when he walks, his knuckles scrape on the ground, bro, and that's a good thing. Straight goon, bro. I think J.C. Davis. I want to see one person out there that ever talked about J.C. Davis, left tackle from Illinois. I think he made some money this year. Brian Parker Duke made some money this year. He went up. Another guy I love, I'm going to butcher his name, Falia Falamua, Wake Forest. Bro, 6'5", 330, long arm, goon. But there's going to be some guy that's going to be like, oh, let's move him into guard. I hate that, man. And perfect example how teams ruin players. I think 2 years ago, the Saints took Talisi Fuaga, right tackle from Oregon State. When I looked at him, I said, I think he'll get exposed on an island. He might get away with being a right tackle, but I think he can be an all-pro guard for the next decade. So what they do, they drafted him and said, oh, let's play him at left tackle. How did that work out? Then this year they put him to right tackle. I still think guard is his better. They did it a couple of years prior with Trevor Penning. He was a left tackle in college for Northern Iowa, I believe. Just a goon, beating up on people. They tried him at left, and I said, bro, he's a guard. They tried him at left tackle, then they tried him at right tackle, and then they traded him to the Chargers. But it just shows you how teams are more likely to ruin draft prospects than, they're more likely to ruin them than develop them. And it's the truth, man. Trevor Goodsby, Texas's left tackle. I think he made a lot of money this year. Yet nobody but me is talking about him. Carter Smith, Indiana. I think he's a little light in the ass, but he's over 40 games starting. 6'5", is 320. I don't think he looks it. I think Riley Malham, Wisconsin, 33 starts at right tackle, 12 at left tackle. I think he's made a lot of money. Lance Hurd, left tackle for Tennessee, straight goon. I think he's made a lot of money. I think he's risen. Jude Bowery, left tackle, Boston College. A lot of people look at him as a guard. Cage Casey, Boise State. Think he made himself some money. He rose up the list. I like Zoom out of Texas A&M. I even like Austin Barber from Florida. Caleb Teenan, Northwestern. I got another Northwestern tackle I got to drop. A lot of people blowing up Drew Shelton, Penn State's left tackle. And I am so against like when someone does great at a position. Oh, we're gonna throw him inside. In my opinion, Drew Shelton is a guard at the next level, and he's gonna do very, very good at the next level. 6'5", 320. Olivia Iannone, that's Penn State's left guard. He made himself money. 6'4", 350. He's a first rounder. He's guard one. He's guard one. He'll be the first guard off the board this year. But you see, I say that. And then, like, okay, perfect example. Last year, if you would have asked 1,000 people, Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end, or Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan, 999 people would have said Tyler Warren from Penn State. Yet Chicago Bears took Colston Loveland. And Tyler Warren was on a tear until their quarterback got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then he calmed down a little bit. But in 10 years, Tyler Warren will have the better career than Colston Loveland. Imagine if Tyler Warren had Caleb Williams, man. Crazy numbers he would put up. Xavier Chaplin, I think, made a lot of money. Auburn's left tackle, 6'7", 350. 350. He rose up. Let's see, wide receivers who rose up. I mean, in my opinion, I think Carnell Tate came into the season as the number one wide receiver. I still think he is the number one wide receiver. He is in my book. Maybe things might change, though. You don't know. I like Jordan Tyson. Yo, the best part about it is all these guys I've given you, I gave you them in May, June. Guys are giving them to you now. Not in my world. Denzel Boston, very good year, great size, 6'4", 210. They all pretty much did what they were supposed to do. I like Concepcion from Kevin Concepcion, Texas A&M. He was a riser. Ted Hurst, crazy riser. Georgia State, HBCU. He's supposed to go in. He's either Georgia State or Alabama State. I did a video. I did like 4 videos on this kid. I just have so many names. I'm pretty sure it's Georgia State, but his name is Ted Hurst. He's like 6'3". I originally dropped his video. I thought I missed him. I was so pissed off at myself. And I'll get his name will pop up on me on his next page because I had him on my wide receiver 2 page. But they're saying he's going to go in round 3. So he flew up the boards. And I dropped his video on August the 1st. And I think he was my 182nd draft prospect. I'll get to him. Elijah Surratt made himself a lot of money this year. Cooper from Indiana made himself a lot of money this year. Yo, show me all your draft guys that were giving you Elijah Surratt in the summer. I know I was. Cooper in the summer. running backs made a lot of money. Huh. I mean, I know there's a lot of running backs. It's a really good running back class, but I don't think the run's going to start in round 3. I personally have one running back round 1. We'll see what happens. Love Singleton, love Allen. I like Justice Haynes. I like Coleman. A lot of guys were banged up this year. I can't give you everyone I like. Because then everyone's just going to copy. People rises. I think Claiborne. There's a lot of defensive tackles made a lot of money, and a lot of edges, man, made a lot of money. I don't, like I said, I don't want to give out too many. Alabama has a couple. Yo, don't be shocked. I think Alabama's going to upset Indiana. I really do. Alabama has some. They're getting healthy. They got some monsters along that D line, bro. Remember, you heard it here. I'll give you their names later on, but I've given you all. I've dropped them already. I think Big Citrus, and I do not like Big 12 defensive linemen. I don't like really Big 12 edges, but I can deal with a Big 12 defensive tackle. Dominique Orange, Iowa State. He made himself a lot of money. 6'4", 340 pounds. He was my draft prospect 155. So 155, that's probably like I put him out there late June, early July, I would say. Wonder where everyone else had him. Wonder where everyone else. Edges. I'm keeping my mouth shut on a lot of people. I can't give everybody. Then there's guys that are coming back. We don't really even know who is. It's crazy. We don't even know who has declared yet. We don't know everybody that's declared for the draft yet. Granted, we know a lot of people that have no time left, but here's a kid that a lot of people like. I personally am not a fan of him. His name is Isaiah Glasgow. He's a linebacker for BYU, 6'5", 240. No, there's another BYU offensive lineman out there. No bueno. Telling you. Rule number 1. Never, ever draft a BYU offensive lineman. What was it, 2 years ago? Kingsley Salamatua, who went to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was Penei Sewell's 19th cousin. Everybody had him. Everyone had him ranked. I didn't even have, I'm pretty sure I don't even think I had him ranked. You do not draft BYU offensive linemen. Here's why. Because 99% of them, even the Utah kids, what they do is they're Mormon. They send these kids on a 2-year mission. So now let's say you go to college at 18, 19. They send you on a mission. So now you come back. You're 21 years old as a true freshman. They redshirt you. Then you come back for your freshman year. You're 22. And it happens all the time. BYU has 27-year-old men playing on their offensive line. Dallas took one of their undrafted free agents a couple of years ago, a center, Emery. He was a 27-year-old rookie. He didn't last. He got cut. But what I'm getting at is when you have a 24, a 25, a 26, a 27-year-old man blocking a 19, 20-year-old kid, hello? The skill positions are different, but in the trenches, you're a grown man. You're not, these kids that are 19, 20, 21, They're not even full grown. Me, I was a late bloomer. I didn't stop growing 22. I'm seriously so like never ever draft BYU offensive lineman. Guaranteed to get you fired. And Kansas City took Kingsley Salamatua as a left tackle, and that went out the window real quick, and they had to slide him into guard. You know, so rises. Great safety class, man. It is a really, really good. Can't give them to you all. Can't give them to you all. Tight end class, I think it's a below average tight end class. The reason it's a below average tight end class is because a lot of the better tight ends, they're like 6'3", 240. They're like, and now you can get away with them. Like, perfect example, everyone's trying to say, oh, but look at Isaiah Likely, who went to Coastal Carolina, who I liked, and then went to the Ravens. And, okay, he exceeded on the Ravens because his other tight end was Mark Andrews, who's like 6'6", 280. But now, if you think, all I'm trying to say, okay, another perfect example is the Browns' Harold Fannin, who was from Toledo, I believe, last year. He was in my top 5 tight ends. He's having a good year, Harold Fannin, for the Browns. But he's basically a big wide receiver. You're going to get 0 out of the run game. He's not going to run block for you at all. So if you're cool with matching him with another 6'7", 280-pound tight end, that's great. But this year, like the prototypical NFL 6'7", 6'6", 250-pound tight ends, they're very far few. A lot of them are on. All the ones that they're pumping you are small. There's Kenyon Sadiqs that everyone's blowing up. Not in my world. Who else, man? There's the other kid, Wake Forest. He ain't bad, but he's on the shorter side. On the shorter side. I probably passed his name right here. I'll find him. Not a fan of this tight end class. I think 2027 will be a better tight end class. I do like the center class. One of the reasons I like the center class is what's up, everyone? Question. Do you think Dak Prescott is the greatest? All right, listen, this is the way I'd have to rank Dallas's quarterbacks. Me personally, I have to go Roger Staubach number 1 because he went to Navy. So after he graduated won the Heisman at Navy, and then after Navy, he had to go to Vietnam for 5 years. So Roger Staubach was a 27-year-old rookie, and Landry had him splitting. He wasn't even really his starter his first year. And then, so now, if Roger Staubach would have came into the league at 22, how many more Super Bowls would he have? So I have to go Roger Staubach 1, Aikman, of course, 2, Danny White 3. The guy was a punter, bro. A punter. And he had to follow Staubach. That's like a no-win situation, man. That's like any group with the greats. That's like anyone that had to follow Brady, Manning. I'm okay. Well, they drafted Luck, but when you whoever had to follow John Elway, the greats, you're in a no-win situation. Danny White was a punter. He followed Staubach, and he went to 3 straight NFC Championship games. Lost. Tony Romo sucks. I've said it 1,000 times. If Tony Romo ever makes it into the Hall of Fame, I will stop watching the NFL. But it's unfortunately it's a popularity contest. I put Tony Romo and Dak in the same. They just but kind of. I mean, yo, Dak got handed like an all-star team, man. That 2016 team was like, yo, you had Dez, you had a rookie Zeke. That offensive line was monsters, man. But Dallas, but they fucked up, man. If you thought on the road a rookie Dak Prescott is gonna beat Aaron Rodgers, nah, bro. If Dak farted, I would put Romo in. That's just me. I would have put Romo in right there. He would have been in a much better position for him to win a shootout. But to me, they both suck because Romo's legacy is what 2007 or 2009. Yeah, we won the East. We're getting a first round bye. Let's go to Cabo San Lucas, bro. And him and Wiggy, Jason Witten with his wig on. But I blame the owner. I blame the coach. But then also as a player, how do you say, yeah, let's go to Mexico? Do you honestly think they went in bed every night at 8 o'clock? They were out partying every night. The coach should have been fired, but you got to blame it on the owner, Jerry. Dak maybe fourth or fifth. Dak is, like I said, Dak. I mean, Dak. I think Dak has had much better. Let's see, who'd Romo have a wide receiver? They went out and got him T.O. at the end of his career. They had him Dez, big Dez Bryant fan. Miles Austin, who's claim to fame, is what he banged Kardashian. He had like one good season. They gave him he and this is not like to shit on the guy or whatever, because he's a local kid. He played at Monmouth in New Jersey, a Division III college. That just shows you kids get missed all the time. He was before he was a janitor working in, I believe, the Garfield School District. And then somebody was pumping his tape to Parcells. And I think that's how he got it. I think the Jersey connection. Parcells is from Jersey. I could be wrong about that. No, Parcells 1,000% is from Jersey. But what running game did Romo ever had? And I'm not sticking up for him because I hate him. I got a jersey. His Uncle Rico. He's Uncle Rico, bro. But he had what? DeMarco Murray for 1 year, and he with his 8 fumbles. Listen. You could take Romo and Dak and just mix them up. It doesn't care. Getting back to the center class, what I do like about this center class is I like my centers 6'5", 315, and there's a load of centers this year that are on the bigger side. There are some centers on the smaller side too, but they're technicians, bro. But the center class is better than the left tackle class. I can tell you that much right now. Some goons of guard. I gave you the pen. I guess I don't want to give too many names out. You know what I'm saying? But I like the center class. Left tackle class, no bueno. No bueno. Definitely no Dacaroni. I think Quincy Carter should be in the Hall of Fame. But you know what it is, man? Like, he basically had to follow Aikman. He was that kid was in a poor, that kid was in a no-win situation. And, I guess he got popped a few times for smoking marijuana. Come on, bro, that's a joke. So if you're in pain or have anxiety, whatever, you can't smoke weed, but it's okay for those doctors to prescribe you 1,000 pills. Come on, bro, like it's a joke. Yet it's okay to smoke marijuana now. But how many kids' lives, their football careers got taken away because they couldn't smoke marijuana, but it's legal now. But yet their careers were taken away. But yet the doctors can throw you on 1,000 fucking, oh, no, let's put you on SSRIs that just destroy your brain and turn you into a zombie. You know, it's a joke, man. But yet now it's legal. You know, how many people, how many people are sitting in jail cells, bro? Seriously, man. How many people are sitting in jail cells for dealing weed and shit? But now it's legal because it's okay. It's legal in a lot of states, not every state, but you know, don't get me started, man. You know, look at Ricky Williams. I called that one right. The year he came out with Edge and James, and I said Edge and James will have a better career because Ricky Williams had small hands, fumbling problem, and Ricky Williams did not come out of the backfield and catch the ball where Edge and James did, and I would have took Edge and James over Ricky. I nailed that one right. But I've listen. Anyone that comes up here and says, "Oh, yeah," I've had plenty of misses, man. Everyone does. Everyone does. But you see, the difference in me is all of my rankings are up there. They're out there in the world of the internet. Be very leery also of people that just come on the computer and just randomly talk about people, but they don't rank them. What are you doing, Glenn, bro? That's like talking about, okay, I'm going to give you a recipe for the best meatloaf, but then I'm going to leave out the beef or the pork or the veal or the best recipe. It just shows you're just regurgitating shit you saw. Well, everybody just basically waits till Dane Brugler puts out his list and then they all copy paste. That's not me. Yeah, Quincy Carter, man, he was in a no-win situation. Do you remember Anthony Can't Get Right? Remember that kid? Oh man, his name was Anthony Wright, but they called him Can't Get Right because there was a movie around that time, and they were saying, yeah, he can't get right. We went through some rough years, man. But hey, the game still went on. You know, Dallas found Romo. Dallas found Dak. Dallas will find somebody else, bro. But it is what it is, bro. But this is a college draft channel, and it's a channel of uncensored. Boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat, man. We were just talking draft, a lot of risers, but mostly a lot of dudes that have tanked. Nothing much. Nothing much. Just talking about some players. Talking about a little playoff action. I'm predicting. I think Alabama's going to beat. I think this is just me. I ain't telling you to go out and throw the mortgage payment on it. I like Alabama over Indiana. I like Georgia. No, wait. Alabama over Indiana. Oregon is going to destroy Texas Tech. That I go heavy. I would go heavy. That one. Whew. Miami, Ohio State is a tough one. And the only reason I say that is I don't know what Ohio State team is going to show up. The fact that Caleb Downs has opted out, how many other guys are going to play one play and be like last year, Abdul Carter? Oh, he played one play against Boise State, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm hurt. I'm out." Yo, he's funniest as hell. He's standing on the sideline, and this poor girl is trying to put like a shoulder thing on him, and he's like, "Nah, get away, get away." that happens. That's gonna happen on both sides of these games. So that's tricky with these games. Going to be a weird first round draft, uncensored. Yeah, I agree with you. I, it's going to be a lot of reaches as of right now, and it could change. I honestly have like 12 dudes with a first round grade. This is going to be a crazy draft. Crazy draft. Hey, what do you want me to tell you, man? Next year, I think next year will be a much better draft. What's going to make this draft, I think, is going to be this how it's such a below average quarterback class. There's going to be a lot of reaches, you know. We'll see. Listen, maybe I'll pop on back later. Maybe I won't. There's some college football I should be watching right now, and I will. Listen, I thank everybody for jumping in the chat. Tomorrow, I dropped, I think, 3 or 4 prospects today. So I dropped some linemen today. Mañana, I'll be going back to some wide receivers and gotta be going back to some HBCU. I got some HBCU monster offensive linemen, bro. Uncle Rico. Yeah, that's the bro. You go look at it. There you go. Yeah, that's what I think of Tony Romo. He's Uncle Rico. And I swear, if he ever gets into the Hall of Fame, I will stop watching football. Yo, I'm gonna go on a rant real quick. Everyone's talking about how I get the Kelsey brothers confused, bro. But anyone who thinks the Philadelphia center, Kelsey, is a first round Hall of Fame center, you're on. Go to Kensington. Look up Kensington on your computer. It's like the biggest open air drug market. It's like fucking zombie land. It's people in fucking positions like this, all fucked up on fentanyl. If you think Kelsey is there's only been one first ballot center in the history of the NFL, and he had both of his legs amputated. He played so much. Otto from the Raiders. And you're going to tell me Kelsey is a first. If his brother wasn't banging Horseface, whatever her name is, that's the only reason, bro. Yeah, you're going to tell me Kelsey is a first ballot Hall of Fame center, but yet Chicago Bears, Olin Kreutz, Mauler, and a badass, bro. He ain't even in the Hall of Fame. He hasn't even, and he's a center. He ain't even been in the Hall of Fame. He's not even in the Hall of Fame yet. And you're going to put Kelsey one? Mike Webster, who started the whole CTE, started over him, homeless, living in his car, had the brain of a 90-year-old. Took him like 10, 15 years to get into the Hall of Fame. And we're going to put this bag of shit. This is why, I don't even like the NFL. It's a popularity contest, man. Popularity contest. Horseface. Yeah, just fucking has a horse face. Shit. I listen, bro. You could always say Cowboys blog. Boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. You can always say a number, add to your body count. She has a face like a effing horse, bro. You cannot tell me, his exes were hotter. You can't even compare it. One's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to a fucking prime steak, bro. You cannot. If you saw her walking down the street and you did not know who she was, you would not even look at her. She has billions and billions, bro. Nah, bro, she don't do it. That's the only reason his brother's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. That's why the NFL, the Hall of Fame. I have more. I think the WWE Hall of Fame is better than the NFL Hall of Fame. There are so many forgotten warriors, man. It took, I think it was last year, 2 years ago. I think maybe it was last year. Chuck Howley was a linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. In the history of the Super Bowls, he was the only player to ever get MVP of the Super Bowl on a losing team. Straight monster he was. Monster. They knock on his door. Bro, he's like 84 years old. He was, they're like, congratulations, Chuck, you're in the Hall of Fame. He's like, No clue. No clue. His sons had to show up. And that's sad, bro. That's wrong, bro. So, John Lynch, get the fuck out of here, bro. I can name 5 safeties that should go in ahead of him. It's a popularity contest, man. It is. I'm sorry, it is. And it just seems like the NFL, yo, do me a favor. Everyone says Aaron Donald was generational. Name me one great offensive lineman that Aaron Donald went up against. But check out Aaron Donald's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Straight up. Check out his stats versus Steve Mongo McMichael, who had to wait 35 years to get into the Hall of Fame. And he couldn't do it because he had Lou Gehrig's disease. And like he died a couple of months after that. His wife had to do it. Compare Aaron Donald's stats to Steve Mongo McMichael's. And don't say, Warren Sapp throws Aaron Donald under the bus all the times. How you think Aaron Donald would have done against Larry Allen, Randall McDaniel, Kevin Gogan, Brian Waters, I believe, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Goons, bro. Straight monsters, man. That's why, you know what the problem is, too? The NFL Hall of Fame, they're going towards the young crowd. And these young cats don't realize that football existed before they were born. And I'm just when I see all these old warriors that are out there waiting, and I see this is probably going to piss off. Come on. Ryan Clark over Darren Woodson? Come on, bro. I don't even know if Joey Browner is in the Hall of Fame. I don't even know. Steve Atwater. I don't even know if he's in the Hall of Fame. These are dudes straight. Andre Dirty Waters. He killed himself too, man. He shot himself in the chest. Played for Philadelphia. He took your head off, bro. You came across the middle. It's a joke, man. Perfect example. When Mongo went in, the New York Jets had a defensive tackle, Joe Klecko, all pro at 1, 2, 3 different positions. He was all pro at. Took him 35 years to get into the NFL. What is wrong with this pitcher? That's why the NFL it's just. I guarantee you this year's Super Bowl is going to have 30 million less views. Some people watching it. Why? Because you had 30 million white girls looking to see Horseface last year. I gotta look to see Horseface. If Horseface makes an appearance for the Super Bowl, I guarantee you this year's Super Bowl will have 20 million less views than last year. Don't get me started, bro. I'm getting pissed off. Travis fell off so bad. I don't even remember. I don't see him coming back. I don't. Horseface. Horseface was really, this is out there. Horseface was drawing up plays and saying the Chiefs should run these plays. Bro, that's legit. That's out there. Horseface, man. Aaron Donald was a beast. Okay, I agree with you 1,000%. He was a beast. Who would you rather take? Jar Jar. Aaron Donald? I'm not even going to say Cowboy. Would you take Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp? Yeah, I agree with you. Blog 1,000%. Thank you for jumping in. Facts, bro. They're catering to the young era. But you know what? This is my issue. They're catering to the young era, but if you go to the stadiums on Sundays, the season ticket holders are not 19, 20. They're not 21-year-old girls that follow Horseface. The season ticket holders are mostly older people. When I say old, I'm saying 30s and older. Then, when you get the great teams, the season tickets they hand down into generations of the family. So, but I guess, listen, I don't know. I have a real the WWE Hall of Fame is better than the NFL Hall of Fame, man. That's it. And me personally, because he also went to the U, I would take Warren Sapp over Aaron Donald. That's just my 2 cents. I mean, it's nothing. Listen, bro, I ran on long enough. 805 Vaughn, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Rod, thank you for jumping in the chat. Uncensored Cowboy, thank you for jumping in the chat. Jar, thank you for jumping in the chat again. Cowboy Blog, thank you for jumping in the chat again. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO for life, over and out. Thank you once again, everyone who jumped in.